So good morning, everyone. Nice to see you signing in. I'm just looking at your names and kind of taking in where you're from and who's here. Let me get this camera ready too, so it'll be easy for the transition. And I'll just check that that camera is set for right now. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay, let's take a few minutes to sit quietly together. We will start again with some pranayama. So it's helpful if you have a seat that you're going to be comfortable in for the next little while. So you can rest your hands in your lap. Close your eyes if you like. And bring your attention inward and downward. You're welcome to soften the space right between the eyebrows. And this morning, let's pair that little bit of softening right there with what Thich Nhat Hanh calls a half smile. So you just have this gentle half smile. And as you soften the eyebrows, what happens is the part of your facial muscles that you use for things like concentration or irritation or angst, those muscles release. And the muscles you can use for presence or reflection, and also for contentment, those muscles have a gentle activation. And please lengthen up through the crown of your skull. Make a little lift at the base of your skull. Lift the center of your heart. Invite your hips and your legs to descend. So often when you first take your seat for your practice, maybe it's the first time you sat still today, I don't know, but often when you first take your seat, you get kind of the news of the mind, whether it's explicitly in words or you sense like the pace or the clarity or the fogginess, the upward or the downward or the sideways nature of the mind. And then with enough practice, because you have installed many previous times of sitting in meditation or contemplation, you can kind of trust that that mind stuff is not the most relevant for right now. And you can filter it out and come into a sense of presence. Now welcome your breathing to deepen, and let's use the breath as a kind of discernment tool. So the breath helps you to bring your attention to what is relevant, what is vital for your practice. That's discernment. But also your breath can help you to filter out that which is not going to be vital to your practice. That is another form of discernment. Focusing on what truly matters, setting aside that which doesn't. Now, some of what truly matters, you're going to be able to take action on after class. And so you can also remind yourself that in your practice, you're going to be cultivating a kind of vitality and brain state from which you can tend to what your responsibilities are. So with this deepening breath, now start to sense the second layer of news of the day. What's happening with your breath and how does it feel welcomed in your body? Any place where it feels like there's resistance or reluctance from your body. And then please bring your hands together at your heart. So like deeper than the mental radio broadcast and deeper than whatever is happening with your breath right now with your body. Deeper than those things lies a wisdom that has brought you to yoga class this morning. And with respect for that, we'll start this morning with Asatoma Satgamaya. Let's begin. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart and release your hands. And while still sitting upright, let's get settled in for pranayama more formally. So place the tip of your tongue behind the top two teeth and hollow the back of the throat to make the space within your throat and even in the inner ear canals, the space in which you experience your ujjayi breathing. And begin with a simple ujjayi inhale and ujjayi exhale, noticing the length and the pace of your breath as you begin. So what you'll discover is a certain suppleness to the breath just now. Please do 2 more breath cycles. And we're going to explore, how does this suppleness get updated through the course of your practice? And when you complete the next exhale, relax and do nothing. Just notice. Now we're going to use Bastrika to help clear out whatever residue in the lungs you feel like might be inhibiting a more full inhale. And also we're going to energize the abdomen to help with a more complete exhale. So the support is from the bellows of the breath at the solar plexus. Okay, let's begin. Exhale. Now inhale lower, middle, and upper torso without interruption, and come up to your suspension. Exhale smoothly and completely. Interlace your fingers, please. Take the heels of your hands down. Gaze down and begin with your ujjayi inhale to reach your arms and your eyes and hands all together at the pace of your inhalation. Open your eyes at the top of the inhale. When you exhale, close your eyes and bring your hands down behind the base of your skull so your pinkies are there at the occiput. Now inhale lower, middle, and upper. Bring your elbows forward. Lift up, open your eyes. And then exhale, elbows wide. Close your eyes and gaze down. Inhale, level your gaze and bring your left elbow forward, right elbow up, and then raise your gaze. Exhale, come to center, elbows wide, eyes closed. Inhale, lift your gaze, right elbow forward, left elbow up. Exhale, center, close the eyes, Jalandhara Bandha. Inhale, lower, middle, and upper torso, raise your arms up. Please open your eyes. And then exhale, press the arms wide, close your eyes, and come down to where you began, Jalandhara Bandha. Rest your hands in your lap. And now once more, the really simple, just ujjayi breath. Notice the pace, the tone, and the geography of the breath. Do about 3 breath cycles, please. You can notice the smoothness of the breath, the pace, the pauses, And then completing the next exhale, once again, please relax. Now we're going to do Kapalabhati, and we use a little different form this morning. We're going to do 5 left, 5 right, 4 left, 4 right, back and forth until you're at 1, 1, 1, 1. And if that's difficult to do, then stay with 5 on the left and 5 on the right. So this is like we call Kriya, a cleansing practice. Okay, let's begin. Exhale through the nose. Now inhale lower, middle, and upper, up to suspension. Release the exhale. Allow yourself to deeply relax. And now more traditional Kapalabhati, as you might know it. You're exhaling through both nostrils. And the pace should be yours, but a strong exhale, a relaxation, exhale, relax, so that your abdominal muscles are not having a huge workout. Let's begin. Exhale completely through both nostrils. Then inhale lower, middle, and upper up to suspension. Exhale completely. And welcome yourself to deeply relax. We're going to do one more sequence with the arms, with the hands clasped, and then we'll be practicing a new pranayama for some of you. So I'm going to ask you to clasp the hands as we were doing before, but we're going to go out to the front facing, and it'll be like you're doing cat pose, and then you'll be squeezing in like you're doing cow pose, Okay, so that's going to be some flexion for the spine and then extension for the spine. So place your clasped hands like a little bowl in your lap down below. Okay. And then when you inhale, bring the hands up as if you were cupping that bowl in front of the heart. Now exhale, squeeze your hands to your heart like cow pose. Inhale, push forward like cat pose. Exhale, pull in like cow pose, lift your heart. Squeeze the elbows and the shoulders back. Now inhale to go up. And exhale, squeeze your hands down behind your head. Place the pinkies. Inhale, level your head. Left elbow forward, right elbow up. Exhale to center. Inhale, right elbow forward, left elbow up. Inhale to center. Exhale to center. Inhale to go up. Exhale, squeeze the hands down like you're doing cow pose. Raise your chest and your heart and your throat. Inhale, push forward like cat. Exhale, draw your hands into your heart. Squeeze the upper back. Inhale, lower the same bowl back down to your lap. And then exhale. There is a breath practice that we do where we inhale in 3 parts, and we're going to check it now. We'll do it, see how it feels, and then we'll do it again to help with meditation at the end of class. So what you were just doing there was to help get your spine and the inner body more supple for this 3-part inhalation. So it's going to be inhale, lower pelvis for 3 counts, and then pause for 3. Inhale, mid-torso for 3, pause for 3. Inhale, upper chest and heart for 3, pause for 3, and then exhale for 9, because it's easier to do the math that way. If it helps you, you can put one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. And then in the middle, you can sense the tactile experience of the ribcage expanding when you do the practice. So lower belly first. Inhale for 3 counts. Pause for 3. Mid-torso. Pause for 3. Upper chest and heart. Pause for 3. Exhale for 9, starting down in the lower belly. And keeping your heart lifted internally even during the end of the exhale. Inhale, lower belly for 3. Pause for 3. Mid-torso for 3. Pause. The heart. Pause. From the low belly, exhale for 9 counts. And do that once more, counting to yourself. And then rest your hands in your lap and smooth your eyebrows and come back to your half smile. And let's just see what meditation might feel like for a few moments right here. You might bring to mind, remembering I used the word discernment earlier. Discerning where to place your attention. And also where not to put it. Thank you, everyone. We're going to be working with the upper back, neck, and shoulders for the next while in class, but I'm going to change my camera. I'd like to go back to the floor with you now. And you will need 2 blankets and 2 blocks for class this morning. And I'm using the 2 blankets where I might normally, in my own practice, use a foam roller. So if you want to try that with a foam roller, you can. And the way that we'll have the 2 blankets folded is like the one that I have here, though we're not going to use it right away. So let's get those established and then we'll all be ready. Let's see. It's funny. I like the tasseled ends of the blankets to be stacked and the firm ends to be stacked. So there we go. Okay, so let's take 2 blocks like this and place them for your hands for a higher version of table, cat, and cow. And my expectation here, my hope for you is that your neck and shoulders are going to feel quite a bit of relief from the practice that we're doing, but you might also discover some places that are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was happening. Okay, so with your inhale now, press into cat pose, round the spine towards the ceiling. Exhale, glide through to cow pose, bring your heart forward, lift your collarbones, open your throat. Okay, inhale to cat. Exhale backwards to child's pose while keeping some of your cat pose spine. Inhale, roll forward to cat. Exhale to cow, using your ujjayi breath. Inhale, cat again. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Come to table pose. Now step your left knee and your right hand forward. So you have this little cross crawl pattern that you just set up. There's going to be these tiny little twists in your thoracic spine. Please keep your hips centered left to right. Let's inhale to cat pose. When you exhale backwards towards child's pose, only go back as far as you can keep both arms straight and your hips not wavering left to right. And then inhale, roll forward to cat. Bring your weight into your arms and exhale to cow pose. And that's where your upper back is going to experience this little bit of twisting. It's very slight. Inhale to cat pose again. And exhale back towards child's pose, but again, both elbows straight without your hips wavering left to right. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow pose. Put your weight into your arms. Now inhale, raise your left arm forward and up. And exhale, push down into cat pose. Inhale backwards towards child's pose. This time, exhale, roll into cat pose. Inhale to cow pose. And exhale, raise your left arm up. Inhale to cat pose. Exhale back towards child's pose. Keep your elbows straight. Don't cheat yourself. Inhale, roll forward cat. And exhale, return to table pose. Walk your right hand in and your left knee back, and then change sides. So left hand forward, right knee forward. So pressing down, we're going to inhale to cat pose first. Let's exhale, come forward to cow pose, and notice what your thoracic spine feels like when your left hand is forward. And then inhale to cat. Exhale, halfway back to child's pose, keeping your hips from wandering left to right, elbows straight. Inhale, roll forward to cat. Exhale, cow pose. Feel the upper back spine, a little bit of rotation between the tiny vertebrae. And then again, inhale to cat. Press into the strength of both arms. Exhale, towards child's pose, maybe you go about halfway. And once more, roll forward. Now we're going to start using the lift of the right arm. So come to cow pose. Inhale, raise your right arm high. Okay, exhale, cat pose. Inhale backwards towards child's pose. This time, exhale to cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Notice if you feel unsteady at all as you raise your right arm up. And then inhale to cat pose. And exhale back to table pose. Let's keep the hands on the two blocks now and reach back to your child's pose with your hips, but keep your hands on the blocks and your head at the same height or a little higher than your upper arms. So please don't drop your head down between your arms. Now, when you're here on the two blocks, press your palms firmly down and lift the inner armpits so the triceps roll towards the floor and your shoulder blades will widen on your upper back. Lift the base of your skull and see if you can get the breath to come lower, middle, and upper, including the place between the upper corners of your shoulder blades. And then walk your hands back towards your knees, please. Come to kneeling if you need to. Sit on a block or two for kneeling. Otherwise, just come right into kneeling. Take the back of your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and firm it there with your right hand. So you're making a little side bend in the upper back primarily. Tip your left ear towards your left shoulder. Bring your chin in towards your throat. So the outside of your left hand, I want to be firmly placed where you have it right now. That's why the right hand presses down against your left wrist. Take a deep breath in. So the C curve of the spine right now is a C curve bend to your left with the upper back primarily and with your head too. And bring that up to center. Now take the back of your right hand to the outside of your left thigh, and you can secure that with your left hand. And C curve to your right. So your right ear can be heavy towards your right shoulder. Bring your chin a little bit in towards your throat. And notice your ease for C curving to the right relative to the left side. Maybe this is harder or easier side for you. And then roll that back up to center. And now rise up to standing for Surya Namaskar. Let's place the feet so they're hip distance apart. Go ahead and use your blocks for your sun salutation this morning. Please join your hands at your heart. Roll the shoulders slightly back. Raise up through the crown of your skull. And now just a simple ujjayi. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana arms. Exhale, chair pose. Okay, inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, Uttanasana. Okay, inhale, glide forward, raise to your fingertips. Now exhale, slide your left hand down to the outside of the block on your right. And turn your head to the right. Breathe in. Okay, exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Raise your heart. Exhale, place the outside of your right hand on the block on the outside to your left. And inhale, gaze to your left. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold your elbows like a box and hold them overhead. Inhale to reach up with your elbows. Exhale, side bend to your left. Inhale to center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. And exhale, Anjali Mudra. We're going to add to that. So inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Uttanasana. Slide your left hand to the outside of your right block. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, upward hands. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bring your right hand down to the outside of your left block. Keep the left arm straight. Inhale, twist to your left. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hold your elbows. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend left. Not with the hips, just with the upper torso, please. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, rise up, reach up. And Uttanasana. So we're going to take some of those actions now into the Surya Namaskar. Let's glide the heart forward as you inhale, please. Exhale, left toes back. So this is a familiar pose for you. Establishing your firm ground. Inhale, rise up, arms overhead. Exhale, please hold your elbows. We're only going to side bend to the right. So you inhale, go up with the elbows. And exhale, little side bend to your right. Inhale, rise up, lift your back waist, floating ribs, the back of your heart. Exhale, side bend. Think of yourself a little bit like seaweed in the ocean. So the ocean current brings you up, and the ocean current gracefully takes you to the right. Once more, inhale, rise up, reach up, and exhale, come down and place your right hand firmly on its block and walk the outside of your left hand to the outside of the block. And try twisting to your right. So I want you to press down with your right arm, right heel, right shin. Hook the back of your left hand on the outside of the block. Make that firm. So your twist, you can bring the left hand down to the outside of your block as far as it's comfortable, but do keep the right arm straight. So the twist is really about broadening the left hemisphere of your torso on the backside. Not so much how far can your right shoulder go, because as you see, we have the right arm fixed. And now inhale, return your left hand to its block, right hand to its block, and let's step backwards, please. Downward dog pose. Inhale forward to plank, and notice if it feels asymmetrical. If you try to broaden the back hemisphere of the body, imagine the right hemisphere and the left. And just notice what access you have. And then exhale, reach back, downward facing dog pose. Enjoy your in-breath. We're going to step the right foot forward with left foot forward with the exhale. So stepping up, this is the base of your crescent lunge. And let's inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. Hold your elbows. And then first you're going to go up so the spine, it's like you're lifting your t-shirt out of your waistband. And then exhale, side bend to your left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, rise up. So it's not really any sense of sinking on the left side of the torso. It's really side bending in the upper part of your thoracic spine and your heart. But I don't want you to have the sense that you're resting your left ribcage on your left hip. Nor are the hips going sideways. They're staying centered. Okay, let's reach up. And then exhale, as you come down, place your left hand firmly on its block and slide your right hand to the outside. You're twisting to your left. Really try to have a sense of where that twist is in broadening the back hemisphere of your body on the right side. Sometimes in twisting poses, we use a lot of back bending where we don't have flexibility for twisting. In this case, your spine is not able to be in a back bend, so you have to find the twist from the spine itself. Let's inhale and place the right hand back on its block. And please exhale, step your right foot forward, come into Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Let's take a seat in Vajrasana, please. Vajrasana means that you're kneeling on one or two blocks. You can do one flat, medium, You could do 2. Rest your palms face down. Please close your eyes. You can smooth the center of the eyebrows again and come back to your half smile. Let your body become really still, as if you shook a snow globe. And now the snow globe is resting on the counter. Now let's see if your body has become pretty still, so the activation has come to quiet. Now is a good time to try 3 of your ujjayi breath cycles and just get a sense of what is happening with the breath itself, the pace, the smoothness, the geography, the pauses of the breath. Please try that for 3 breath cycles at your own pace. You might also ask yourself, how subtle can you make the breath and still have it be effective? Knowing that the more subtle the breath, the more powerful it actually is for transporting us to meditation. The more dynamic breath brings us to the outer, the more subtle breath takes us to the inner. At the end of 3 ujjayi breath cycles, again, come to stillness. I'm going to ask you to try that 3-part inhale to see what is the feeling of that, what is your capacity, and then I'm going to take you through a sequence for the upper body using these 2 blankets and the strap, and we'll check it again to see what that's like. And so here, each inhale is 3 counts, each pause is 3 counts, so it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And the part that people say they have the most difficulty with is getting the last third of the inhale up into the chest and the heart. And partly that's because there's a lot of tension here and less elasticity. And we've practiced less having the inhale climb up like that. So this is a chance to see how you're doing now. When you've done that about 3 times, then let yourself be still once again. Soften the place between your eyebrows. Make a little half smile for the face. Come back to the word discernment. Where do you place your attention? And where do you not direct your attention? Now please put your blocks within reach, but bring your 2 blankets onto your mat. And so this is a form of myofascial release, and also there'll be some stretching and opening. I want to remind you that when we have the hands behind the head and then we're twisting, we're bringing one elbow forward and the other elbow up. You're going to need that mechanism here. So please lie on your right side and put a block for your head and a block between the knees. Okay, so when you have the block under your head here, it's only temporarily going to be there. But I want you to get accustomed to this position where your knees, thighs, and hips are stable. So you won't be twisting from your pelvis right now, nor from your sacrum. Keep this block close to you know where it is, and clasp your hands at the base of your skull. You can cup your palms now on the back of the head. You don't have to use the pinkies. Let's have the elbows pointing forward. And then side bend over the blanket and reach the left elbow long. Let's inhale. And then exhale, bring the elbows and the head to neutral, where you started, okay? And then rolling over the blanket sideways, reach the left elbow long. And then exhale. Again, inhale. So you're putting weight on the right rib cage, but you're opening the left upper rib cage. And then exhale, you're going to tone muscles that support your spine here. And then again, one more time, please. And exhale. Okay, now roll your left elbow forward. The right elbow might touch the floor. So you're going to twist into the upper right chest wall there on the blankets. And then you're going to roll. So take both elbows with you. And as you start to come onto your right shoulder blade, bring the left elbow overhead and the right elbow down towards your knees. And then you're going to bring the elbows and your head and chest. So you're going to roll onto the right upper chest wall. Stretch the left elbow out. Okay, roll the elbows to be more symmetrical. Start rolling onto your right shoulder blade and then bring the right elbow down, left elbow overhead. And again, roll. And as you come through, reach your left elbow out past your right. And one more time, roll on your right rib cage, and then there's your right shoulder blade. Split the two elbows, and let's pause here and enjoy. So you can hold the weight of your head with your hands. We used this practice yesterday afternoon in our restorative class, so for some of you, this will be familiar. Lengthen your left elbow and your left hip away from each other, please. And then roll that back to center. Okay, now we are going to do the other side. So what you do is you put the block here, and it's already there for you. You've got this block between your knees. Roll onto your back. Now with the block under your head, so yesterday afternoon we did this, and middle of the afternoon, people have been working and so on. So this block might have felt like, oh, thank God it's that high. But I'm going to ask you to check right now, if you put the block down, how much suppleness do you have in the upper back and head? And if you put the block out from under, how much suppleness do you have in the upper back and head? And the answer might be very little, or the answer might be surprisingly quite a bit. Okay. Now we're going to go to the other side. We're really coming back to this position. So please place the block so you can easily turn onto your other rib cage. So for you guys, that's your left side. And you're going to again clasp the hands. So start by lying completely on your left side, on your rib cage. And then you're going to side bend over. So you got to put the block out of the way, the block that was under your head. And you side bend over with the hands clasped behind the head. And then bring yourself up. So you have to use some of the muscles in the torso to do that. And let's inhale, roll over. Open the right upper rib cage. Exhale, level that off. And look for where level is, right? It's not the biggest lift. It's only back to level. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. You do have pressure on the left rib cage, so that's partly how we're doing that bit of massage. Okay, now bring the left elbow down and reach your right elbow forward of your left, so you're on the left chest wall. And then left outer rib cage. As you roll onto your left shoulder blade, bring the left elbow down and the right elbow overhead. And then roll thoughtfully, smoothly. And roll through. So you really want to have a sense you're moving the tissues and the fluids around the body. Support yourself so there's enough stability and confidence in what you're doing. Your head should feel supported here. We're going to stay for several breath cycles. So where you have the left elbow pointing towards the left and right knee and the right elbow overhead, cradle your head in your hands. And breathe into the right side of your waist. And then rotating from there, let's put the block under the head one more time. Now turn onto your back. So you have your shoulder blades directly on this blanket. Please don't put the blanket lower on your torso than the shoulder blades. And then you can check and see if you put your arms out into a T shape, is that pretty restful for your upper back, neck, and shoulders? Would your upper back, neck, and shoulders tolerate the block being on the flat setting? How relaxed does that feel? And for some of you, what if you go without the block under the head? How relaxed does that feel? Choose the height for your head that you feel like there can be this ease in the heart. Now to release from here, we're going to do one more thing for the upper back, neck, and shoulders, but let's enjoy. So you've got a block here for your hands. You can hold it with both hands. Stretch your legs out straight and take this block overhead. I didn't get myself set up very well here, but hopefully you did. Stretch the arms and the legs opposite. The block between your knees is now kind of irrelevant. It just happens to have been there. The block between the hands is helpful because you can squeeze it with the heels of the hands to help you energize your shoulders. Okay, and then bend your knees. You're going to be rolling to your side. So let's put a block under the head. It makes it easier to turn sideways. Come up to sitting. Now we have this really cool opportunity here. So what you're going to be doing, this yoga strap, I'm going to ask you to sit on a blanket. So like you would for meditation, just choose one of your blankets if that's comfortable. Of course, if you need 2 blankets, then you use 2 blankets. And the loop you need for the strap, this is where you get to have some back bend in your twist. Finally, after all these forward bend twists that we were doing in the before, you're going to have a little back bend twist. So let's make the loop. So it's going to go, let's see, this is my right when I'm teaching. This is my left. So you're going to put the loop around your left knee, and you need the loop to be large enough that it's going to support your right wrist. That means there's the tail of my strap. Here's my loop, and I know I'm going to be able to get my right wrist in there when I'm twisting. Okay, so try that out, please. My right hand is in there now, back behind me. Okay, so you're going to take the back of your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. And as we go over, you can even pick up and then make that a more firm fit. And then the right hand behind you, with your right wrist in the strap, you want to have a sense that it stabilizes the right wrist, right arm, right shoulder to really pull back. So there is some firmness with that. You can always adjust the length of your loop to make it smaller or larger. So please twist to your right. And as you're twisting to your right, start to raise your collarbones up slightly and deliberately broaden your collarbones apart. Press your right fingertips down into the floor so the right arm is straight and strong and stable. breathing in, roll the right shoulder back. And exhale, then release. As you roll around, release your right hand from the strap and bring it around. You might feel quite a zigzag in the body. Let's put the strap on the other side. So around the right knee. Walk the left hand behind you. So your left fingertips will be on the floor, probably something like that. And that means that your wrist is in the strap, but you're not holding the strap with your hand. So straighten the left arm so it's a firm support for you. And then bring the back of your right hand around to the outside of your left thigh. And as you're twisting to your left, think of a little bit of a back bend in the upper back and the heart. The power of the strap for your left hand is to help stabilize your pose, but also to help you roll the left shoulder back, perhaps more successfully than you do otherwise. Make a little back bend up in the heart. Yeah. That back bend is supported by your shoulder blades. And then you're going to exhale, and as you unwind to come around, it's possible that you're going to feel kind of zigzaggy again. So rest your hands in your lap. And come back to relaxing between the eyebrows and finding your half smile for your face. And bring yourself back to the word discernment. Discerning where to place your attention and also where not to. without dynamic effort, but with elegance, please try 3 ujjayi breaths, and then 3 times your 3-part inhale. And just see if you can approach it with the least amount of grasping, the most amount of elegance, of confidence in your inner practice. In your own timing, when you finish those 3 ujjayi and 3 3-part breaths, and you can just rest again and notice. Not making any effort for the breath after those pranayamas, you just rest. See if the meditation might come very naturally. And those of you who feel established in your meditation right now, you can stay seated. Anybody whose well-being, mind or body or life is needing Shavasana, please take your Shavasana. course, if you're in Shavasana, let yourself deeply relax. If you're in meditation, and stay with the word discernment. Where to rest your attention, and also where not to. If you're in meditation, continue with this quality of discernment. If you're in Shavasana, please rest for one more minute. If you've been in Shavasana, you can make a thoughtful transition to join us for sitting. And please bring your hands together at your heart. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. So nice to have you. And thank you for the questions that they inform what I want to offer in class, so I can help with some of your specific questions about the body or the practices. How are you feeling?